Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. A talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive James Music. And we're going to be discussing James' incredible book, Carnal Nature. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, man, it's a lot of other places. Most importantly, check out his personal website, journeyintocarnalnature.com. There, you're going to gather more information on him, on his book, hyperlinks set up to take you to the purchasing pages. Man, I'm telling you, you want to gather what he has in store, journeyintocarnalnature.com. Yeah, that's where you got to go. I quickly want to take this opportunity and point out the fact that James was brought to us by Citi of Books. So for my writers out there, if you've gone through your process and now you need some assistance moving that book you just developed, head on over to citiofbooks.com and gather all of the ways that their fantastic team, man, they're suited and booted to help you do just that. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have James here on the line. People, strap in, okay? His book, Carnal Nature, man, it's gonna take the readers on a mind-bending odyssey across galaxies and dimensions where faith, science, and raw human desire wage war for the soul of civilization. Okay, this is not just a sci-fi novel. It's a provocative mirror held up to our own world. And it's asking, are we doomed to repeat our mistakes, or can we actually evolve beyond them? People, the notions discussed in this book, or presented in this book, let's do it that way because the discussion is up to you. But the notions presented in this book, man, they defy imagination. And the truths that you're going to find, they might just unsettle everything you think. Buckle up, because I promise you, where I look at the book and I see where the power lies, not only is it a captivating journey, but the conversations that you are going to have with those around you, they might just have you reflecting on certain things. I know that they've already done that with myself and my team as we were preparing for today's interview. And listen, James is the man behind it all, so sit back, strap in, and here we go. James, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you for being a guest with us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful. James, listen, man, it is a true pleasure to have you here with us. I think your book offers a lot of entertainment, but again, a lot of reflection if your readers choose to go there, and I hope that they do. Let's jump right in. Of course, let's start off at that foundation, man. Carnal Nature. Tell us more about your book.
It's a thrilling sci-fi action drama featuring several dystopian societies. By these societies, Carnal Nature metaphorically illustrates how families use units in human reality don't function in good balance, as it exposes the worst corruptions in people's lives to lead to the sins that tear families apart. Follow Captain Margaret and college professor Garrett Mayrook as they travel the stars, encountering aliens like Grecian, an alpha female from the Uruj that undergoes a transformation that holds the key to understanding their society. Or Yingira, a member of the Komora people, as she struggles to survive her harsh and dangerous homeworld. Or even Makris, an ancient android tasked with containing a most dangerous plague.
Okay. James, who would you say is your intended reader for the book, man?
Everyone. Anyone that is not too young for my book. Truth be told, I didn't know if anyone would appreciate my style of writing. It's so very different than anything I've heard of before. That being said, the reviews so far have been unbelievably flattering.
Is this the first book that you've written?
Yes, it is. I started building the story when I was 16, just keeping short stories in my head, occasionally changing the details, expanding the plot of each story. For the theories in the back of the book, they were just one inspired question after another that my mind would not stop thinking about until I had a plausible answer.
All right. How long did it take you to write the book?
I started writing it down 3 to 5 years ago. It was a hobby, so I ended up taking a lot of breaks.
And how has your personal life experience affected the writing of this book? Was there any influence with regards to it?
My personal life experiences where many of the personalities of a lot of my characters came from.
Okay. In terms of your personal preference here, James, which genre do you like to read? And I'm curious, man, do you limit yourself to that particular genre when you're writing?
To start, I don't really read books truthfully. Outside
Okay.
the Bible, that is. I do, however, watch many movies. I don't like limiting myself. To me, such is the same as choosing to walk blindfolded, led by a blind man. Jesus tells us to walk by faith, not by sight. That being said, who is it that you're actually following? So the simple answer to the question, I enjoy most every genre that I can learn from.
Love that. Okay. Listen, it's good to stay open, man. My follow-up now, sticking with books that you like to read, do the books that you like to read for pleasure or for leisure, do they happen to influence your writing in any way?
I was never really one to read for pleasure myself. For a very long time, I could barely read at all.
Wow.
Once when I was very young, I was asked by a teacher, "Are you stupid?" Needless to say, it sent me home in tears, and that teacher got an earful later. Here is something I want to say to all those young people out there with learning impairments. Reading, writing, and even math. These are all skills. Some of us don't acquire them as easily as our peers. This does not mean by any measure that you are less intelligent than your peers.
Love that.
You have your entire lives to master these skills. If you keep pushing yourselves, you could end up like myself, more than 25 years after graduation, writing a book that one promoter deemed worthy of being studied in college-level courses.
James, my follow-up, man. Okay, so weren't necessarily an avid reader. Then how did you get started writing?
Oh, I have an imagination that just never turns off. And I just chose to start writing one day.
And would you consider this publication one of your finer accomplishments in life so far?
Definitely one of my greatest accomplishments so far. However, I plan on achieving things far greater than this book.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, along those same lines, what was the most rewarding aspect of becoming a published author?
Knowing that God was pleased, even if only a little bit. He has plans for my writing that I could tell as I was writing it. What that is and how big, I have no idea.
James, so often is the case, man, whenever we are on a particular journey and we have a goal in mind of something that we want to accomplish, when we finally reach that apex, when we finally reach that conclusion of having it there, that feeling of gratitude, of accomplishment, there is a lot of feelings that you're going to be receiving. And that's where I want to go next, man. Describe the feeling that you felt holding your published book in your hands for the first time.
Very simply, this is pretty cool. I was more anxious than anything else, wanting to give away free copies of my book and see what people thought of my writing. In my own opinion, it was a great work, but I didn't have the slightest clue how other people would respond to my style of writing.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, let's take an opportunity here and let's pay it forward, man, for other writers out there that are listening in, whether they're at the beginning of that journey, they're seasoned writers, whatever the case may be, you have gone through the process, so now you have wisdom to share. What would be some words of advice that you can offer for writers listening in right now?
Realize that your point of view is not the only point of view out there. There are as many ways to perceive a given set of events as there are people who witness them. Know them all.
James, who inspired you to become a writer?
I don't know if there really was one. I think it was just something I wanted to do.
All right, perfect, man. Listen, let's close out of the show by focusing now on the future, man. Like, what's upcoming for you? Is there another book on the horizon?
Yes, I have outlines for a second book, and I'm working on details, and hopefully I'll get to writing it relatively soon, actually.
Listen, we hope you do just that as well. People, I'm telling you, listen, you got to head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, journey into carnalnature.com. Remember, this is one that is so much more than a compelling read. I promise you, you're not going to be able to put it down. It's going to have you speculating. It's going to have you having conversations with those around you. And you may be very surprised with where that conversation leads. But listen, talking, I think, is something that's in short supply and something that we're not doing enough of. Head on over, pick up copies of Carnal Nature today. James, this has been an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you very much for having me.